Okay, another month is down, and I have some more good information about the New York pistol permit process. And by good information, I mean utterly stupid, retarded, ridiculous, New York only information. I actually have some notes on my screen here that I'm going to be referring to, so if you see me looking in this direction, it's because I'm reading off a Word document with a few pinpoints that I want to talk about. I have about 9 different things to talk about. Maybe I can find a few. So, 3 months from my class that I have to take before I get my New York pistol permit. And again, I'd like to point out, if I didn't in my last video, this class is only about filling out the paperwork for the permit. I do remember this from last video because I said, if there is a class you need to take to fill out the paperwork for your pistol permit, the process has failed. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous. Pistol permits save about as many lives as driver's licenses. If you think that having everybody get a pistol permit to exercise a right is going to prevent deaths, then you're an idiot. Because getting a driver's license didn't do that either. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about. One is perhaps a question that maybe you're thinking or you don't want to offend me by asking. Um, but I'll go ahead and say it right here because I don't get offended easily. One, are you serious about this? Are you seriously getting ready for a pistol permit, 4 months in advance, even before you turn 21? Come on, don't you think you're taking things a little too far? And I might agree, but you'd be completely wrong. I not only got in at exactly the right time, and you'll see why in this video as it goes on, but if you don't start your permit early and you wait until you're 21, you are fucked royally. I started because I got my class way back when, and I got a class 6 days after my birthday that happened to be the first available class, so that just happened to work out well. But if I turned 21 and then got signed up for a class, probably by the time I was 22, I'd just be finishing it up and get my pistol. That's how long you can expect to wait, because a good 6 month wait for the class, a good 6 month wait for the process to exercise a right that if you go south or east, you can get it right off the bat. You can just go in and get a pistol, and all you do is get a background check. Like, because that's all you need. That is 100%. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that New York's policies are ridiculous when it comes to this. Trust me, when they run that background check, when you buy a rifle and such like that, it goes through all your background, anything that you would have done anyway. Because if it doesn't that freak you out that there's people out there getting actual high-powered rifles like AR-15s and such, and they don't get as good of a background check as a pistol? Come on, we know it's bullshit. It's all it is a big money and time-wasting thing. So point one, why was it a good idea to start this early? And months before my pistol permit, because I'm getting the Walther P99 9mm, and you have to get the fucking neutered 10-round magazines for it. Normally, it has normal capacity magazines of 15 rounds, just like almost all 9mm pistols. They have higher capacity magazines. But by higher, I mean like compared to a 45, which might have 8 or 10 or 7 or something like that. 9mm have a little bit more. That's one of the advantages of them. So you come to this shithole where they limit it to 10 rounds, even though that whole assault weapons ban thing, even the BATFE said it was bullshit. I need to reiterate that. The people who, are make all the big decisions when it comes to firearms, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, said that that whole thing was bullshit. The assault weapons ban in New York just right over there. Anyway, so you need the neutered 10-round magazines. And that was a sticking point for me because I couldn't find an FFL dealer that would ship with the high capacity magazines, even though I said my FFL would take them out. I found an FFL that would take the magazines out, and that I would never even see these big dangerous magazines. They still wouldn't ship anyway. But I did find a dealer that would ship. I'm not going to mention it because I'm not promoting anybody here. But they're taking the magazines out, so there goes $100. These magazines are $15 a piece, so there goes $100 because they're taking out the damn magazines. They profit $100. I have to pay an extra 100 for the magazines. So, as such, what do we have here? This is actually a pistol case from my dad's old Taurus 9mm that got stolen by a bunch of deviants in San Diego when he was in the military. And this is a pistol case for it, but that's not what I'm here to show you. The pistol case. I'm going to show you what's inside the pistol case. A box of Cellar and Below 9mm police full metal jacket ammo, which just happened to be the new one that my store was carrying when I bought it, and 2 Walther P99 10-round magazines. Actually, I'm lying. One of them is a Walther P99 magazine, Walther P99, and one is actually a Smith & Wesson SW99 magazine. They are exactly the same. They are made in the same factory with the same patent numbers. They are made by Mech Gear in Italy, and everything is exactly the same on them except the bottom stamp. But in the price difference, the Smith & Wesson ones are about $20 less. But I had to have at least one official Walther one. I mean, come on. $104 it was to get these two magazines because of shipping, and they're fucking expensive magazines. And of course, look at that, they're awesome and neutered to 10 rounds. So I have 10 rounds of Full Metal Jacket 9mm in there ready to go. And I bought out the store. That was actually the last 10-round magazines that they had, so I jumped on the bandwagon exactly at the correct time. I bought the last 10-round magazines they had because when the assault weapons ban expired for everybody in 2004, and everybody realized, hey, it didn't do anything, we're kind of sorry about the last 10 years, and the normal states, the non-police states, got rid of it. Nobody needed these ridiculous neutered 10-round magazines, and now they've dried up. So the people in New York who want normal capacity magazine handguns, that's what the states are saying, and we gotta love that, don't we? I cannot wait to get out of New York. Everybody says, "Why don't you just get out of New York right now?" It's not particularly easy to move your whole family out of a state. It's not easy. Even though that I live with my parents, even if I was going to go move somewhere, I would need a substantial amount of money to go start a life in a new state. But God, trust me that I do. Point number 2. Well, actually, I've covered a few points so far, so the next thing that I have to talk about is price difference. I've been mentioning it here so far. In normal free states, if you want a Walther P99, it'll be about $600, $600. In New York, it's going to be close to $1,000 with all the fees. Why is that? Why do we have to pay $400 more than everybody else? Well, you get it shipped to you. Because first of all, I can't find it anywhere in New York at all, because I guess we only sell Glocks here, which everybody in the whole world has a Glock. You can't, if you find a place that'll get shipped to New York, you usually get shipped with no magazines. They won't be nice and send you the 10-round magazines with it because they'd be losing out on $100. So they ship it with no mags. So you got to buy mags. There's an extra $100. Okay, the gun costs $600. There's an extra $100. We're up to $700. Add to that the pistol permit fee, and all the when you get done with the pistol permit fee and the fingerprints and the application fee and the class fee and all that stuff, that's about $200 right there. That's about $900. Add to that the transfer fee of sometimes about $50. That's $950. It's just ridiculous. And another thing, there's another fee, but I'm not going to mention it yet because it would ruin one of my later talking points. But that other fee can be about $50. It might be a little bit cheaper. So there you go. A $600 gun will cost almost $1,000 in New York, and they wonder why this shithole is in such a bad way that the economy is in right now. I'm just calling it as I see it. It's a great state. It's a very beautiful state. I love the Four Seasons. I love everything about it, except every law I believe that they have ever made, I disagree with. Pretty much. Especially any firearms laws that they've made, because they are nonsense. In the past 2 days in New York City, there have been about 30 shootings. Okay, it's almost impossible to get a pistol in New York City, so you kind of see how the laws don't, prevent the crime. One of the shootings was done by a 17-year-old. How is that possible? You have to be 21 to even touch a pistol here in New York. So these laws are bullshit. Anyway, let's see. I can and I have to order the gun when I'm 21. I just realized a bit of cold sore there. I thought it was something on my lip, but well. I have to order the gun when I'm 21. You have to actually, this is another real whim that you'll love. For the people in the free states, you can have a good laugh at this one. You have to buy a pistol before you get your pistol permit. And what that means is you have to buy a pistol completely blind, without holding it for the weight, for the, testing it out for the recoil, without seeing the fit in the hand. You have to buy a pistol so they can put it on your permit before your permit is issued. I just find that completely hilarious. So that's what I'm going to do for myself. When I'm 21, December 1st, I'm going to go buy my P99 and have it shipped to the FFL, and he will hold it until I can pick it up on my permit. And that's such a crock, it's unbelievable. How unsafe is that, buying a pistol that you don't even know anything about because you can't touch them in this state? You can't touch them until you have your pistol permit. How ignorant and arrogant is that? It's unbelievable. You're gonna, what if somebody's never shot one before and they see that shiny 50 caliber Desert Eagle there? That looks nice. Let's shoot that. They take it out, bang, and they, who knows what's gonna happen to somebody who doesn't know the recoil of a 50 caliber. But they can't pick it up beforehand because that'd just be dangerous to pick up an unloaded gun here in New York. Wonderful. Mental health is backed up. The mental health office in Albany actually had somebody resign, and instead of being intelligent and saying, okay, we're going to have this person resign, so we're going to have a backup on the pistol permits, they said, oh no, that's okay, she's going to resign. And then the pistol permits just log jammed, and then they said, oops, it looks like we're going to need some more people here. And we're about 3 months behind for that. As if the waiting wasn't long enough, you can tack about 3 more months onto it for that, for a mental health check. How ridiculous is that? When you go buy a powerful rifle, long gun, shotgun, what, you don't get a mental health check? So we could just have somebody who smears feces on the walls in their cell and they just escape, just go buy a shotgun, but they want a pistol. We're going to have to check them for that. Something doesn't quite add up there. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Another thing, all pistol permits, this is a good one too, in New York are concealed carry permits. Every pistol permit in New York is a concealed carry permit. You have to carry it concealed. There's no open carry. When you go to the range, it has to be concealed. If you're going to carry it, it has to be concealed. They are all concealed weapons permit. Now, this is ridiculous, where it gets ridiculous here. The judges who issue these permits can actually put restrictions on there, like hunting and target shooting, or camping, or something like that. But the thing is, the restrictions have no bearing on law whatsoever, because nobody said the judges can legally do that. They just kind of did their own thing. And, it's not true. So they can put all the restrictions they want on there. They don't mean anything. The only thing that can happen is if you get caught carrying outside your restrictions, like if you're carrying concealed and it says you can only carry concealed to the range, and, say you're at Walmart, they can bring it up with the judge and you can get your permit revoked. Well, there's also a stipulation that says you can get your permit revoked for any reason whatsoever. So what a lot of people do, and it's funny, if you get a restriction that says for target shooting only, they will put a couple of targets in the back of their truck, and they will always be going to the range. There are some 24-hour ranges in places in New York, and they did it specifically for that. If you get pulled over and you're carrying concealed, and the officer has a problem with it, you can just say, I'm going to the range. See my targets? Brilliant. You gotta love the wishy-washy laws here. And the other fee that I was going to mention earlier, this is my next talking point. The other fee is COBIS. It is some ridiculous combined ballistic information system, and we've spent over $35 million in tax money, and just a ridiculous amount of money in COBIS. You need to get your gun fired. Your brand new gun needs to get fouled up by having one of the state troopers shoot it to keep the bullet casing, so they can match it up in case you decide to shoot somebody. They can pick up the casing and find out who was. $35 million. You know how many people it's caught to date? $35 million. You know how many people it's caught to date? 0. Man, if I threw out $35 million and didn't get anything for it, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do. $35 million, yeah, who needs it? Easy come, easy go, I suppose. And another thing, I'd like to leave this last pistol permit update with a bit of the funny part in this video. It's so ridiculous getting pistol permits, how you can't handle these big scary pistols before you get a pistol permit in New York State, that NRA certified pistol permit instructors, even if they teach law enforcement, doesn't matter, NRA certified pistol instructors that teach the safety about the pistols, how to handle them safely, how to use them in self-defense safely, how to keep them at home safely, have to take all of their students to another state to teach them how to shoot the pistols. They usually take them to Connecticut, because you can't touch a pistol in New York before you get your permit. They actually take them out of state. They drive across the state line so you can pick up a pistol, shoot it, and learn all your safety stuff, and then drive back into New York. If that isn't the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard with laws, I don't know what is. So in another month, I'll have another update. It'll probably be more ridiculous. Here we go. So there's my update this month. Here we go. Thank you all the people of New York coming to see these videos to learn how to get a permit. Stay tuned. Another one bites the dust.